Hello, Mr. BootsKanchelski1337, I think that was your name. This is a personal response to you and your comment stream because I can see where that particular line of questioning is taking you. So you started out with a claim. You started out with a claim, not me. Remember that, that's going to be important. I was not trying to convince you that supernatural beings exist. I was not trying to convince you that God was real. You made the claim that there was evidence that supernatural beings are not real. So you made the claim. You said there's concrete evidence to suggest that supernatural beings are definitely not real. Like, we can prove this to be the case. And I said to you, no, that's wrong. There isn't evidence of that. And I know this personally because I have seen supernatural beings myself. I have had a relationship with God. I have met Christ and had conversations and relationships with Christ years ago. And since then, and I became a Christian and came to worship, now I regularly communicate with God and Christ, and I ask for help for various things in my life, and I generally will get help. Pretty much 100% of the time I get what I ask for, and for me that is evidence enough. That's why I believe. I didn't say this should be evidence enough for you. So it's not anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence would be if I recorded my claim and I submitted it to you with a claim that you should believe that supernatural beings are real without having seen them. You see? So you made the claim that there's evidence that my claim is completely false, and that's wrong. You can't claim that my evidence is false because you never saw that evidence, only I saw it. And that is why I didn't make the claim to you that you should believe in God because I saw him. I'd never say that. So in conclusion, Mr. BootsKanchelskis, whatever your name is, let's continue with our conversation by all means, but please keep in mind, respectfully, when you're making these claims and saying false things like there's concrete evidence against the existence of God, that's wrong. And when I am saying in counter to your argument that I have seen God and spoken to God, for years and years I've continued this relationship, you cannot claim that my evidence is false just because you didn't see it. In the same way that if you had a dream about Jennifer Lopez, or something like that, for instance, if you told me you had a dream about Jennifer Lopez and I said, oh no, there's evidence there's evidence against your claim that you had that dream, it's impossible. There is never going to be evidence against you claiming that you had that dream. So it comes down to faith. Do I believe that you are telling the truth, that you had a dream about Jennifer Lopez, or do I think you are a liar in all things? And then I will claim that in addition to you being a liar in all things, this claim about your dream is also false. And you can take it a step further. I could say to you, there's no evidence that you have a brain inside your head. I've only heard other people say that you have a brain inside your head, but due to the evidence on show, fictionalizing claims that supernatural beings don't exist, I could say, no, you don't have a brain inside your head. But actually, I can have faith in what I know and my education that actually you must have a brain inside your head, despite the fact that I have never seen it with my own eyes, and I will never see it with my own eyes. I know as a fact, based on evidence that I've seen and anecdotal evidence that I've heard in education, due to that, I know that you probably do have a brain inside your head, and I'm willing to believe that. So in conclusion, there is more evidence for me that God exists, there's concrete evidence for me that God exists, and there's only anecdotal evidence that your brain exists inside your head. Okay? So that's the end of this video. Please think about what you're saying when you make these logical arguments. If you're going to call it a logical argument, it has to actually contain logic. And the logic of what you're saying is, you're claiming that God doesn't exist and there's concrete proof of this. You can actually supply concrete evidence of God not existing, is what you said. And I said, no, that's completely false because I've seen evidence that he does exist personally. And you're saying, no, my evidence isn't real, but your evidence is. So okay, let's see your evidence. Please provide evidence to me that God is definitely not real, concrete evidence, and we'll talk about that. Otherwise, I'm going to stick with what I saw with my own eyes and experience every day in my own life and have done for almost 2 decades, that God is in fact real, and that's fine. But remember, I wasn't making the claim to you, you came to me with the claim, and that's why I refuted it, and it was false. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. So just to confirm, I believe the anecdotal evidence that you have a brain inside your head And I also believe the factual true evidence of myself that God is real. So that's the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.